I have to say, the more I hear about Fallout 76, the more my excitement grows. Look, I was hopeful for a New Vegas-like experience, but I've grown to accept what we're getting. And from the initial E3 Bethesda conference, there was a lot of questions and concerns I personally had. But now it seems like an imaginary checklist of worries in my head continues to get checked off by Bethesda. Originally, there was questions about modding, which has since been revealed to be coming post-launch in private servers. There was concerns about PvP and griefing, in which it was revealed you cannot kill someone constantly. There was concerns over no story, which was revealed to come in the form of holotapes and robot NPCs, which many are hopeful for an experience similar to Gone Home or Borderlands. So today we're actually going to dive into some of the other concerns I personally had, which have since been discussed by Bethesda. We're first going to start with an interview that went pretty under the radar, coming from Swedish game site FZ, and they spoke to Bethesda's Pete Hines, going over a lot of details regarding Fallout 76. One of the big things Pete Hines touched on was PvP, but what I found most interesting was his comments on how nukes work in the game.
You can't nuke each other.
Okay.
You can nuke a specific part of the world. You know, it's a massive map. It's 4 times the size of Fallout 4, so it's a really big space. Getting the ability to launch a nuke is not easy. You have to get a number of different code pieces to piece together to have one full code. You then have to get to the place where you go to enter that code, which is obviously not just, you know, open doors and walk right in.
No.
And then you target a place on the map. You can't target an individual. I can't see you running around the map and go, oh no, I want to nuke that guy. So they're not easy to get. They're not just going to be firing off every 5 minutes. When a nuke is incoming on an area of the map, people get notified.
So this is pretty big. Previously I've talked to nukes and how they work as something that could be abused. I will say though, if players can see where other players are at almost all time, how does not targeting other players work? What I imagine is the world map shows all the player locations, and maybe the nuking map shows different locations, which technically you can't target anyone. Either way, the reveal of warning also makes a big difference. But next, he did continue discussing PvP and the importance of having players that act like raiders.
But the truth of the matter is, you want some people who are in there acting as raiders. Like that adds raiders to the game because people want to do that.
Yeah.
You want people to be acting as traders. You want people who are building settlements. You want people who are nomadic and don't want to build settlements. You want the whole spectrum. You also just want it to be done in a way some people can't completely ruin other people's experience.
I do understand the perspective Pete Hines has, but it really will be interesting how they stop people from getting annoying, and he seems to mention some sort of anti-griefing system that they've been working on. Either way, much of this will be touched upon within the beta, and I do want to include a comment he made about that beta, which makes it seem like we will not be seeing this happen for quite some time.
Getting people to embrace, guys, this game is constantly going to be evolving and changing. It's going to change the days and weeks and months after launch all the time, based on player feedback and what people are seeing. It's going to change a lot based on the beta and people playing in the beta. It's going to change a lot in the next month with us playing it internally and continuing to try, okay, now we tried this system a little like this. Okay, now it works like this. Which one feels better? Which one feels worse?
Now, if you listen closely, Pete mentions that they'll be playing Fallout 76 internally next month, which should be indication that the beta is still some time away, something that also Pete Hines mentioned on Twitter, responding to a fan saying the beta test will not start for a while still. So another area that's been discussed heavily is stealth and how players appearing in the map at all times will ruin that. Well, again, Bethesda has responded, this time through their official Twitter account for Fallout.
As soon as you crouch, which engages our stealth mode, the dot will very quickly fade away, so other players won't be able to find you.
So it does look like there's a way to avoid detection. And in case you were curious if settlements being destroyed will be a problem, well again, Bethesda has detailed that repairing will be simple, cheap, and easy.
So once you assemble your camp, you can of course build defenses and structures to help fences and different kind of armaments to support and protect your camp. If someone comes along and decides to blow your camp up, they will have to engage in those defenses, which are very easy to build. The materials are readily available. And if someone does blow up your camp, people are very excited for Fallout 76. If someone does blow up your camp, then you are able to repair it very easily for very low cost, literally with a single button. The other thing I'd like to say about camps is that they're blueprinted. So when you go off a server and you come back on, if for some reason your camp can't respawn where you left it, it is blueprinted so you can very quickly place down the stuff you had already built.
And a lot of this information I wish had been mentioned in the original presentation at Bethesda's E3 conference. Pete Hines has even mentioned that he keeps seeing so much confusion, and I really think it's because of big new information being in an interview that originally only a few hundred people had seen. But something else I thought I'd mention is some Fallout fans have almost completely pieced together the world map of Fallout 76, and it just shows all the different locations that we'll be able to explore. So far what we've known is that Fallout 76 is broken up into 6 regions, with Ash Heap, Cranberry Bog, Savage Divide, the Forest, the Mire, and Toxic Valley. What this map shows is just how huge the world is and how many different places we'll be able to find. We have places like Vault-Tec University, the Greenbrier, Nuka-Cola Quantum Plant, Harper's Ferry, Mama Dulce's Food Processing, which, as some of you may remember from Fallout 3, is a front company of the Chinese military. And we even have a few different vaults to explore, like Vault 63, which makes me wonder how each of these vaults will work. And when I say that, are some of these vaults going to be still active with experiments ongoing, or do they have to all be open with dead or more mutated people? Anyway, I've voiced my concerns with Bethesda continuing to mess around with microtransactions and games as a service, which I ultimately fear could change them with future games if Fallout 76 brings in boatloads of money like what happened to Rockstar Games with Grand Theft Auto Online. But just talking about Fallout 76 and this game alone, most of my concerns are gone. I'm sure not everyone has the same mindset as me, but my big issue really has been playing alone and not having that aspect ruined. With Pete Hines getting more in depth on the gameplay, I feel this really could be a fun game this fall. Either way, the beta will tell us a lot, and something Pete Hines did mention in this interview we discussed earlier is that they don't want to reveal everything at once. So it seems as we get closer to release, we'll get a lot more information, footage, and details on this upcoming game. Anyway, what is your opinion on all of this new information? Are you still worried or feeling more excited? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, but thank you for watching. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy this video or found any informative value, and consider subscribing for much more Fallout 76 content to come, and I'll see you later.